Hey everybody, it's Nick here with you. Welcome back to the Rock Squad channel and welcome to the Rock album review for the new EP from Eve 6. It's called Grim Value. Grim Value is the follow-up to 2012's Speak in Code. It's been almost a decade since we had new music from Eve 6, but they've kept busy over the last decade or so as a touring band, still playing lots of shows. And then Max Collins, the lead singer and bass player of Eve 6, has kept busy with his side project Fitness, which is a group that I really enjoy. And they've released quite a few really cool songs over the last couple of years. Definitely worth checking out Fitness. And then Eve 6 has kind of made headlines and gone viral again over the last year or so, thanks to Max Collins and the Eve 6 Twitter account. He's kind of leaned into the band's reputation as being a kind of a one-hit wonder 90s rock band. I think they're much more than that, and I'll get to that in just a second. But he's kind of leaned into that reputation on Twitter. He's called Inside Out their biggest hit, the Heart in a Blender song. He's told some tales about them touring over the years, and he's really, I guess, deconstructed the whole Eve 6 one-hit wonder 90s thing on Twitter, and maybe deconstructed what their reputation is, and really kind of made the band rise to the top again and make headlines in the rock music world. So yeah, Eve 6 has still kept busy over the last decade or so. And you know what? I'm always that guy. I've been this guy for many, many years that defends these bands that people think of as one-hit wonders, especially late 90s rock bands. Eve 6 is one of my favorite 90s rock bands. Third Eye Blind is another band who gets a reputation for just being a one-hit wonder group, or maybe I call them more of like a two-hit wonder group, or maybe a three-hit wonder group. But I think a lot of people would think that Eve 6 falls into that category as well. Maybe a lot of people in the mainstream just think of Inside Out and they don't think of anything else that Eve 6 has done. But I'm actually a really big fan. I wasn't a big fan of theirs when they first came out in the late 90s and early 2000s. I did like a lot of the stuff I heard on the radio, but it's actually been over the last couple of years, I want to say the last 5 or 6 years, that I've become a gigantic Eve 6 fan. I've dug into all 4 of their studio albums. The first self-titled record is great. Horoscope is a great record as well. It's all in your head. And then Speak in Code, which came out in 2012 after a long hiatus before that, is a great record as well. When you think, I think about so many great songs, Curtain, Victoria, Lost and Found. What else we got? Blood Brothers, Moon, Best Friend's Girlfriend. There are so many songs on that record that I love, and on the other records as well. So I'm always the first one to say that these bands that people consider to be one-hit wonders or two-hit wonders are so much more than that. And there's so much great music to dig into with these records, and that is very much the case with Eve 6. I enjoy all of their music, much more than just the songs that people listen to on the surface. So going into this review, I was very much looking forward to this new EP, and I'm sorry to say I did not like it. All right, so how we do it on the Rock album review, we put the songs into 2 columns, the plus column and the minus column. There's only 5 songs on this record, so it's going to be a very quick review. The EP kicks off with a song called Black Nova, which was the first single released a couple of months back from this EP. And I do like the song. It's a fun power rocker. It's different for Eve 6, as is the majority or pretty much all of this EP. It's got some great synth guitar from John Siebels, I think that's how you say his name. Max Collins, his bass, still a huge part of the Eve 6 sound. It's what's really driving everything on this EP. It took me a little while to warm up to this song because it's different for them. But I've gotten into it over time. There's a cool breakdown in the middle. It's a very danceable tune. It's got a good bop to it. So in the plus column, we're going to put Black Nova. And then out of the 5 songs, there's only one other song I'm going to put in the plus column on this, and that's Angel of the Supermarket. This whole thing is a very punky affair. It's much more loose. It's much more I just want to say off the cuff than a lot of Eve 6's other stuff. The other stuff they've done, even though they've varied between more alt rock and even more dancey pop rock in their career, this is probably the loosest that they've gone. They've always been a very produced and well-produced band over the years. So this is probably the loosest that they've ever gotten in the writing, arrangement, and production of this record. This one was almost Blink-182 or Green Day-ish in its approach. And I dug the melody on this. I enjoyed it more than the other songs, and I really enjoyed the title of it as well. But unfortunately, this song is the last one that I enjoyed on the Grim Value EP. And then unfortunately, the rest of the songs on this record are going to go in the minus column for me, a song called I Want to Bite Your Face. This is a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek song, and that, I feel, is the vibe going through this entire record. I don't know if it's because, maybe Max Collins thinks that Eve 6 maybe has taken itself too seriously in the past, and he really wants to try and deconstruct the band in their music as much as he has in their social media presence. But this one and the next song, Can We Combine, are almost like they're almost like joke songs to me. The melodies don't stand out. They don't feel like they're particularly memorable. And it just feels like the band was just in a jam room hashing out some songs, and they were just messing around. Like, I'm in a band myself. Most of the time we try to keep things serious and rehearse songs that we really love and we really want to release and be serious about. But occasionally every jam breaks out into me singing some ridiculous lyrics like "I want to bite your face" or "Can we combine" into the microphone, and just making up a bunch of shit on the spot just for fun to make everybody else in the band laugh. And that's kind of what I felt like this song. And the next song felt like "Can We Combine," another very tongue-in-cheek song, a good old sex song. There's nothing wrong with the song about sex, but this song felt really, really cheesy. It felt like the band was taking the piss. Like, some very, very lyrically funny lines in the song. "I like your tits and your politics," jokes, and that you hate the Strokes. But overall, this song just kind of bugged me. The chorus really didn't get to me as well. And then the last song, which completely boggled my mind, that we're going to put in the minus column, which is "Good for You." This entire EP is 5 songs long. It's 15 minutes total, maybe a little bit more, 15 minutes and 30 max of music. And one of the songs is a complete instrumental. And it's not exactly a great instrumental. It sounds like a song that should have had vocals. It makes no sense to me to have an instrumental like this on the 5-song EP. It's such a waste of a track. Now, I may be wrong. I listened to the song on Spotify last night. Maybe they accidentally released a pre-release version of the song without vocals. I'm going to put that out there. I could be completely wrong on that. But as far as I know, this was an instrumental track from start to finish, and it felt so lazy. Like, we only get 15 minutes of music. The other songs are like 2.5 minutes each. And then they stick us with this instrumental at the end of the EP that doesn't really go anywhere, and it doesn't really do anything. So in the minus column is "Good for You." And that's pretty much it for the Grim Value EP by Eve 6, guys. Like, a total 15 minutes plus of music, 5 tracks. I wish we got more, but at the same time, I didn't really like what we got on this thing already. So maybe I'm good with the 15 minutes that we had, because maybe I wouldn't have enjoyed the rest of the experience. Very disappointed as a huge Eve 6 fan, and as, again, somebody who loves all their music. I was really disappointed. I do feel like Max and the band are trying to deconstruct that Eve 6 sound. I don't blame them for trying to do something different. Maybe it just didn't hit me the way that I wanted to. Not to say that they have to do everything the same. It's been 10 years. So obviously they don't want to just go back to the well and do the same things that they've done before. I totally understand that, but it was kind of a deconstruction for me of the Eve 6 sound. It was much more looser and informal than their past material. It's punkier, it's more rough around the edges than the past stuff. I appreciate the band's intention, but it didn't quite work for me. And I was reading a couple of reviews online of this EP, and a lot of people are praising it for its punk rock influences, its new wave influences. I know I heard Devo being thrown out there as an influence on this EP. So maybe as someone who doesn't listen to a lot of new wave or punk rock, at least from the 80s or anything like that, maybe I'm just not understanding what they're going for here. But a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this is the best music they've ever put out." I don't agree with that. I think it might be the worst, especially since I love Speak in Code, which was our last record. I love that record a lot. So I was very disappointed. And yeah, like, Eve 6 is considered to be a 90s rock band. But as I said, I really got into them over the last couple of years and discovered a lot of their music. So they very much feel present to me. They feel like a modern band. They are a modern band. They just released new music and they're on tour all the time. But I don't know. It just didn't hit me in the way that I wanted to. And, considering how strong the band's material has been in the past, this is a huge disappointment for the songwriting and the performances. I feel like the band was on autopilot. I could be completely wrong. Maybe this was just an obligatory thing that they had to put out, to keep the Eve 6 name alive. I don't want to go there and say that, there was no creativity or anything put into this thing, but it just didn't feel like it was very strong to me. And I might be wrong, but with all this Twitter buzz in the last little while, I think Max is trying to deconstruct the Eve 6 thing even more from, their reputation as being a 90s one hit or two hit or 3-hit wonder. And I think they're much more than that, but they're trying to change their public perception a little bit. And I thought maybe they moved past that a long time ago with the other records, which again, I really love, but maybe they want to move past that more than I thought. So I don't know what they were thinking when they were doing this EP, but I didn't really enjoy it. So I don't know why they bothered to put out so little music with so little energy. It was very, very disappointing for me. So I'm going to give the Grim Value EP from Eve 6 a 2 out of 5. And that is my review of the new EP from Eve 6. It is good to have them back with new music, but at the same time, I was left very underwhelmed by this release. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments below, whether you're a mild Eve 6 fan or kind of a diehard Eve 6 fan like I am. They also have an X-Files connection. Their name comes from an episode of the X-Files called Eve. Eve 6 was one of the clones. So yeah, they have a special place in my heart as a band. Their connection to the X-Files and everything like that. I really do enjoy Eve 6. I wish I liked this thing more, but let me know what you thought of the new EP from Eve 6 in the comments below. Make sure to like this video. We'd appreciate that. Make sure to hit the notification bell. Make sure to subscribe to us here on the Rock Squad YouTube channel, and make sure to check out the Rock Squad podcast that we've been doing every week. Me and my co-host and bandmate Dave Marini do a rundown every week of the latest rock music news and reviews and discussion. We do a podcast here every week on the YouTube channel. You can check out the podcast version on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure to check out more rock album reviews here on the channel as well. We got Mammoth WVH right now, great record. Rise Against, another great record, and more rock album reviews available here on the Rock Squad channel. Make sure to follow us on social media, on Twitter and Instagram at Rock Squad Pod, and we'll see you again for another rock album review. Have a good one.